Gu Hong arrives at an elite place in a luxury car with his guards. His secretary tells him many girls are available, but Gu Hong asks for someone clean and simple. Just then, Shui appears and asks if she can come in. The manager insults her, but Shui bravely holds Gu Hong's hand and asks him to choose her. Gu Hong stops the manager and allows Shui to come inside. As Shui walks in, she remembers her painful situation. The hospital warned her that her brother would be thrown out if she did not pay the bills. She tried working at a bar, but a man misbehaved with her and she lost her job. With no money and no choice left, she came here to save her brother. Later, Gu Hong meets Shui and gently tells her if she feels uncomfortable, she can leave if she wants, as he never forces anyone. Seeing her helpless reality, Shui agrees to stay. The next morning, she wakes up and sees Gu Hong on the phone. Watching him, she suddenly remembers her school days. Shui has loved Gu Hong secretly since their school days. It has been 8 years, and he is still her hidden love. The morning after their night together, Gu Hong asks if she slept well. Shui says she must leave for her part-time job. Shui asks for her payment, but Gu Hong delays it and only asks her to send a friend request. Hurt and embarrassed, Shui leaves, saying she will not bother him again. Later, at work, a colleague notices marks on her neck, but Shui lies and says it is an allergy. The colleague comforts her, saying Shui deserves happiness, especially since she is alone and her brother is in the hospital. Gu Hong later messages Shui and asks her to meet him. When they meet, he moves close, but Shui firmly says their deal ended because he did not pay her. She asks for the money, and Gu Hong finally pays her. Shui decides to leave. Before she goes, Gu Hong coldly tells her never to appear in front of him again. Shui replies with pain, saying he will never see his face again. After that, Shui calls the hospital and confirms that all her brother's bills are paid, asking them to take good care of him. Shui is shocked when she sees that Gu Hong has sent her a lot of extra money. When she tries to return it, she finds that he has already deleted her contact. This brings back her school memories, when her friend Shin told her that Gu Hong was popular, smart, and every girl's crush. Later, Shui and Shin see Layla getting out of a car. Shin says Layla is close to Gu Hong and always gets expensive gifts. Soon after, Shui gets a part-time job. At the job, Shui follows her boss's instructions. While leaving, she is stopped by guards and meets Chang, the man she once hit with a wine bottle. He tries to touch her and force her into a car. Shui threatens to call the police, but he does not listen. Shui uses pepper spray and tries to escape. She suddenly sees Gu Hong, but the guards catch her again. Gu Hong's secretary insults them and then notices that the woman is Shui. Gu Hong remembers her words about never showing her face again. Shui breaks free and asks Gu Hong for help. He agrees, signals his guards, and they beat the men. Gu Hong then carries Shui away, saving her from danger. Gu Hong asks Shui why she was at a dangerous place. Shui tells him she went there for a part-time job and admits she once hit a man with a wine bottle. Gu Hong understands she has money problems and offers to help her, but only if she stays with him. Shui feels uncomfortable and refuses, saying she can earn on her own. When Gu Hong suddenly kisses her, she bites his lip to stop him. Before things get worse, his secretary interrupts with the business matter. Gu Hong later meets Lin, who wants a business deal, but Gu Hong coldly rejects him and takes over his business. Lin later realizes he made a mistake by touching the woman Gu Hong cares about. Shui later rides in Gu Hong's car and notices a gift box. She refuses it, thinking it is for someone else. Gu Hong asks her to go with him for a hospital checkup, worried about her health. At the hospital, Shui is told she is healthy, only a little weak. A nurse's comment about marriage makes her shy, and Gu Hong notices it. Before dropping her home, Gu Hong tells Shui to stay safe and to slap Lin if he ever troubles her again. Shui smiles and thanks him. Then, the end, Shui's friend Shin checks on her, and Shui calmly says she is fine. Shin warns Shui to be very careful and asks about her brother's hospital bills. Shui calmly says that all the bills are paid. Later, while packing her books, Shui finds an old card she once wanted to give Gu Hong in school. This brings back memories of how she tried to approach him, but another girl came between them. Shui sadly thinks that she never imagined meeting him this way. Gu Hong suddenly calls Shui. She tells him she has moved to a new house, and he cuts the call. Soon, he calls again and says he is waiting downstairs in his car. Shui goes to him and notices he is drunk. He says he only drank a little. When Shui asks how he found her address, he avoids the question. Seeing his headache, Shui gives him a head massage. Gu-hong asks why she left school, and Shui says she couldn't afford the fees. When he tries to get close and kiss her, Shui resists. Angry, Gu-hong tells her to get out of the car and leaves. Shui feels hurt and questions her own feelings. Later at work, Shui gets a call saying her school fees are paid and she can return to school. She refuses and calls Gu-hong, realizing he paid the fees. Gu-hong tells her to focus only on her studies and career, not to let people take advantage of her weakness. Shui angrily says he is not her friend and has no right to control her life. When she hears another woman's voice near Gu-hong, she misunderstands and angrily cuts the call. After that, 2 crying female students are seen in front of Gu-hong, but he orders his secretary to deal with the matter strictly. Later, his secretary tells him about an important business invitation, but Gu-hong seems relaxed and says he will handle it himself. Finally, Shui is seen working part-time at a golf stadium. There, she meets Yuze, an old schoolmate. They're happy to see each other after a long time. Yuze is surprised and asks why Shui is working there. Shui makes excuses and tells Yuze that she took a part-time job because she had nothing else to do. Yuze does not believe her. He says he heard about her brother when he returned from China and even tried to contact her. He asks her to stop lying and tell him the truth. Seeing Shui upset, Yuze gently comforts her. At that moment, Gu-hong arrives and pulls Shui away. Then, Yuze clearly tells Gu-hong that Shui is like a sister to him and nothing more. Gu-hong coldly suggests exchanging the golf girls. Yuze tries to argue, but his secretary reminds him to stay polite because they need Gu-hong. Yuze asks Shui to follow Gu-hong first and come back later. While helping Gu-hong, Gu-hong gets angry. He tells her he paid her school fees so she could study, not work at a golf course. Shui refuses his control and says she does not need his money. Gu-hong grabs her, but Shui boldly says he is interfering in her life after a one-night stand. She says they are strangers and should stay that way. Hurt, Gu-hong repeats the word strangers and walks away. Before leaving, Gu-hong tells his secretary to give Shui money and warn her never to show her face again. Later, Yuze worries about Shui's safety and insists on walking her home. He offers her money to help her brother, but Shui refuses and sends it back, saying she does not want to mix money with relationships. Yuze respects her choice, but asks one favor. He invites Shui to a cocktail party and asks her to be his date. Shui agrees happily. Finally, Gu-hong's secretary gives Shui a bag of money. Shui realizes it is the same amount she once asked for and understands that Gu-hong wants to end everything. Accepting it, she feels their story is over. Dressed for the party, Shui meets Yuze, who compliments her beauty and asks her to stay close to him at the party. Smiling, Shui takes his hand and they walk forward together. Inside, Shui looks nervous. Yuze gently comforts her and tells her to not worry because he is with her. Inside, they see Gu-hong standing with Yuze's father. Yuze's father introduces them, and Yuze says they have already met before. Then, Gu-hong makes a sharp comment, asking why Yuze brought his caddy as a date. Yuze laughs and says it is just a joke. He explains that Shui is not his caddy, but like his sister. He adds that Shui gets scared easily, so Gu-hong should not joke too much. Gu-hong coldly replies that she looks boring in her dress.